Hello and welcome to another Problem with Video. My name is Benny, I run this channel called Comicstorian, and I look for little things within the world of comics that I can nitpick and turn into a 20-minute video. And today's nitpick is going to be the Joker. And what the heck are they doing with the Joker? Because while I love it, I also hate it at the exact same time, and I'm going to explain. But today's episode is brought to you by me. If you enjoy improv comedy, or at least poor attempts at improv comedy and Dungeons & Dragons, come on over to our Dungeons & Ale channel, where I poorly make drinks and then we poorly do our own homebrew campaigns. We've got an Assassin's Creed campaign going on, a traditional Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and we're coming out with our Marvel Zombies campaign very soon. The link will be down below. And if you enjoy these types of videos and you want to see me talk about manga, check out Comicstorian. I don't have much more to say about that other than it's this, but manga! All right, let's talk about Joker. Okay, so when I talk about the Joker, when I bring up the Joker, he's normally up there in my favorite villains. I don't really have a particular favorite villain. It's more of a flavor of the month. Which villain is being more effective or being awesome or is turned into a cosmic level? What the hell is going on? I kind of cycle between Carnage and Joker and Venom. Venom's a good guy now, but you get what I'm saying. The Joker is typically brought up as the foil to Batman, the ultimate villain, his insanity versus Batman's insanity. I mean, you can't call Batman sane when he dresses up in a bat costume and runs around beating up on poor people. But I think that's an entire argument for a different day. But what makes the Joker great is he's Batman's ultimate villain. He really is. Bane's good because he's a tactician that can break Batman's back. Scarecrow's good because he taps into Batman's fears. But Joker is good because you don't know what he's going to do. That's what makes the Joker good. Typically, if we get Bane, you can go, okay, Bane's going to try to take over the city, prove that he's better than Batman, or make Batman fail at something. Okay. If Scarecrow shows up, you know that he's going to tap into the greatest fears of the entire Bat family to show them their fears so that he can gain control over them. That's going to happen every time. And we can talk about this with more minor villains, such as Mad Hatter. If Mad Hatter shows up, you know he's going to be trying to control a good portion of people, and that's going to be his thing. And we'll find out some sad story as to why he's doing this. Or let's even go with the ventriloquist, where you're going to discover that the ventriloquist himself is just a sad person who wants to be accepted. And he's accepted by his puppets. Poison Ivy just wants to save the city. She's going to be going around doing things that she would deem to be environmentally unfriendly, and then pretty much get with Harley because she doesn't really do that. She mostly gets with Harley now. That's another discussion for another day. But you get what I'm saying. Most of the villains that Batman have a clear motive, a clear thing that when they show up in the comic, you generally know what they're going to do. The biggest wild cards with this are normally Riddler, Two-Face, and Joker. Now with Riddler and Two-Face, you know that like Two-Face is going to do something involving his gang, and there will be some kind of split personality argument. What the plot is, that will change, but it's going to revolve around that. Riddler is also similar, where you can kind of call most of his plots, but the three of them normally get plots that don't line up with their motives. But the Joker is the best of them all, because the Joker will do everything from join the Legion of Doom to take over Gotham City to just try to put smiling faces on fish because he wants to copyright it. The Joker will go all over the place and have no general theming around what he's doing. He's just there to do stuff to Batman. That's literally what it always boils down to. And whenever we explore the Joker's psyche with storylines like The Man Who Stopped Laughing or Three Jokers, or we go to the Endgame plot, it normally revolves around the Joker's motive is just to make sure that Batman has a reason to exist. That's kind of what it boils down to. Everything the Joker is doing is to get a rise out of Batman. And the Joker only exists because Batman exists. Right now in comic books, we have the Night Terrors event. In the Night Terrors event, we've gone into the Joker's nightmare. And as is par for the course of the Joker, we discover that his nightmare is that Batman is gone. That the Joker will become normal. The Joker will go get a regular job. He will turn into a regular person. The Night Terrors takes it to the next level because we discover that if Batman were to ever be gone, Joker would just become Batman because he needs Batman to exist, which is a fun concept. But this is also where the problem with the Joker comes in. The mystery and mystique of the Joker from back in the animated series to the early 2000s to even the early 2010s is slowly but surely being eroded away by DC to ensure that you keep buying products that say the Joker. And they're going to keep doing this until you stop buying products that say the Joker. Now, I'm also to blame for this because I love the Joker as a villain and I will support things with the Joker in it. But we're getting to a point where the Joker's not a mystery anymore. Let's go all the way back to what I said there in a minute. Let's go to the Batman the Animated Series. Now, I looked up Batman the Animated Series episode count. A lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, the Joker was all over the Batman the Animated Series. So what you're talking about doesn't exist. But let me get to what I'm saying here. Batman the Animated Series is considered by many to be the Batman. No movie, no comic book iteration. Batman the Animated Series is the Batman for many people. And in that is the Joker for many people. Batman played by Kevin Conroy, while the Joker's played by Mark Hamill. The Batman the Animated Series, the original one, ran for 109 episodes. The Joker appeared in about 23 to 24, depending on if you count cameos. Now, that is a fourth of the story. Yes, a fourth of those episodes involved the Joker. But if you think back to the Batman the Animated Series, you can think back to a lot of fond memories, a lot of moments where we discovered things that are going on with Bruce or Alfred, or how Dick Grayson / Tim Drake were doing their thing as Robin. We can go back to those particular episodes where we saw how Batman and Gordon's relationship evolved and what they did. We can go back to look at how Batman would treat Dick Grayson when he was taken over. And we can even look at some of the softer moments, such as like the truth behind Clayface. If you didn't know, Clayface's whole thing, yeah, that's mostly from the Batman the Animated Series. Clayface was not some sad character that we need to care about. But if you think back to the Joker, what do you really remember about the Joker? The Joker tried to copyright and trademark Smiling Fish. The Joker was in an abusive relationship with Harley Quinn, one of which, as kids, we didn't recognize. Only in the modern day, with people telling us that it's an abusive relationship and rewatching episodes, do we go, oh yeah, that was kind of messed up. But you don't remember anything about, like, the Joker's origin. Who was the Joker? How did the Joker get created? Now, we all know the classic supposed origin, the Red Hood origin, where the Joker was a guy down on his luck. He put on this Red Hood mask, facade, battled against Batman, and he fell within the chemicals. But what they've never really done is explored who was the Joker before that? Who was the Joker after that? What are his motives? What is his personality? And that was something that worked for the Joker. You could do something like Batman the Animated Series or Mark Hamill's take on the Joker without giving him any true origin or true backstory is that version of the Joker. He's kind of crazy. He wants to trademark fish. He's abusive to Harley, but we see that he also downright loves Harley. You can see all these different elements and you can take that as the de facto Joker. But you can also go to the New 52 where the Joker is insane, cuts off his own face, and then wants to cut off the face of the Bat family to empower Batman and go, that is also the Joker. You can go to the Emperor Joker plotline where the Joker gains the powers of Mxyzptlk, a fourth dimension imp that can do whatever he wants. And he tortures Batman, but he won't officially just eradicate Batman because he needs Batman. You can go back to the Joker storyline that the Joker didn't actually star in. We have a story by Brian Azzarello, and I don't remember the exact name, but I'm pretty sure it's just called Joker, in which one of the goons is telling you about what it's like to work with the Joker. Each iteration of the Joker is a different version of the Joker. The Joker in The Joker by Brian Azzarello will skin a gang member and make him dance on a stripper pole. While the Joker in the animated series doesn't go any further than, I'm going to drop you in a vat of acid. But the Joker from the New 52 will cut off your goddamn face. Think about that for a moment. The Joker's all over the place. And that works for the Joker because his whole concept is that he's erratic. He doesn't make sense. He's psychotic. And that's also why Batman can't truly catch him, because he doesn't have a way to figure him out. That's why he'll do something like kill Jason Todd and then basically allow himself to be captured by Red Hood, to be beat down by Red Hood, just to prove a point to Batman. He's not actually doing anything or being a part of anything. He's there. He is literally just a thing to move the plot forward, and he's the ultimate thing to move the plot forward because he doesn't have any true motive other than make Batman be Batman. But you start to ruin that when we start to actually dive into who the Joker is, and we begin to give him personality and motives that are now being cemented in how the Joker is supposed to act. I love to come out here, guys, and tell you, hey, your favorite version of a superhero is done. When that version is done being written by its writer, that version is over. So when Scott Snyder got done writing Batman in the New 52, the 5-year run, that version of Batman is done. And yes, the comic will continue into Batman Rebirth written by Tom King. But Tom King's Batman and Scott Snyder's Batman are two completely different Batman. Most writers end their story, if they're given the option, with a way that kind of ends the plot but allows the superhero to continue. And that's what both those writers did with their super long runs of Batman. Even James Tynion, when he took over from Tom King, wrote Batman into a certain situation and then kind of like, this is where Batman ends. The Joker never had that. The Joker could just show up and be our mysterious guy. But now we're getting more history to the Joker. We're starting to discover what the Joker did before he became the Red Hood. Okay, a little backstory behind him, but we can go ahead and say that when he became the Joker, he became this crazy, crazy guy, you know? But then we started getting things like a consistent Joker comic. Now, the original Joker comic wasn't about the Joker. It was a incognito James Gordon storyline, which was great. But it did dive into a bit more about the Joker. We begin to see how he acts, what his interactions are, who he's talking to, how he's supposed to act, which is what I'm getting at here. And when that one ended, we started the Joker, the man who stopped laughing. Now, this one, I love this comic, but I think it's the most egregious for what I'm talking about, because now it's not a backdoor James Gordon book, it is a Joker book. And we get two different versions of the Joker, one acting more like psychotic and cynical, and he's trying to like really mess with people, and he's twisted and demented. That one's in Gotham. But then we also get a different version of the Joker, a version that wants to be like a gang lord, and he wants to move to LA and take over. What I'm saying is we're getting the personality of the Joker to be cemented. He's no longer some mysterious background foe that we don't truly understand. Ever since James Tynion wrote The Joker War, the Joker has just kind of been around consistently. He hasn't gone away. Going away is what makes the Joker work. If he's there consistently, we don't have that break to decide, oh, this could be a different Joker. He's acting totally different. And then we explore storylines like Three Jokers, where it's like, well, no. There's three different Jokers. And, well, if that's true, then which one are we messing with? Which personality are we messing with? They're diluting the entire Joker problem by introducing the concept of there being multiple Jokers and giving us a cemented personality for the Joker. How far are they willing to go with the Joker before he's no longer a threat? Before he's going to show up and do a plot against Batman and we're going to go, that's not how he acts. That's not a Joker plot. That's not what the Joker does. Because right now we don't do that. But if you keep printing comics that explain how the Joker acts, we're going to do that. If Bane were to show up tomorrow and inject the entire city with fear toxin because he wants to see Batman face his fears to grow better, you would go, that sounds like a Scarecrow plot. If Scarecrow showed up and instead of fear toxin, decided to start spouting riddles and rhymes and phrases out, you would go, no, that's not a Scarecrow plot, that's a Riddler plot. And right now, the Joker could do all of those and you'd be like, that's Joker. But if he gets to the point where like, oh no, the Joker went to LA and started a gang war and a riot and tried to get to his car, great plot. I really do actually enjoy that storyline. But if things like that keep happening, we're going to cement how the Joker is supposed to be. Stuff like the Joker movie makes this even worse. Because what happens is people go watch the Joker movie. The Joker movie is great. I loved it. But it's not the Joker that we know from the comics. This is a completely different version of the Joker. But that doesn't matter. That Joker movie broke $1 billion. More people saw the Joker movie than have probably read a Joker consistent comic book. Meaning that as time goes on, if Joker 2 is just as successful, the Joker will become the Joker from the movie. That will be his origin. That will be his background. Right now, we can still say he's pretty much got the Red Hood background where he joined up with a gang and became twisted. But if that breaks another $1 billion, they're going to start cementing it in. My personal favorite era of the Joker is actually during Scott Snyder's run because he pretty much recognized the problem that I'm talking about. What he did was he cemented a personality for the Joker, and that was what we dealt with in Endgame and stuff like that. But at the exact same time, he would run Joker backups. And in the Joker backups, he would explore the concept that the Joker doesn't know his own origins, that the Joker is spreading lies about where he came from. Is he a robot? Is he a demon? Is he meant to live forever? Is he some spiritual being that is only here to make Batman succeed? Scott Snyder wanted to give us a personality for the Joker, but at the same time juggled the idea that none of this is accurate and the Joker is just a bad storyteller for his own story. But we're not doing that anymore. We're actually just doing a Joker story. We're giving Joker a personality and a plot line and a persona and the way he's supposed to behave. A quick interjection that we discovered after we tried to edit this video together. We're doing slight spoilers for Night Terror's Joker #2 and the theory for The Man Who Stopped Laughing. So if you don't want to hear those, just, I guess, skip ahead. Timestamp will be down below. Also, now that I think about it, Night Terror has also spoiled the big reveal about which Joker is the real Joker in the current storyline of The Man Who Stopped Laughing. Because if you think about it, the whole idea is which Joker's the real Joker? The one who went to LA to become the gang guy, or the guy who got his head shot off and then had to pull the bullet out? Well, Night Terror's is only about one of them. It's the guy who got his head shot off, which basically says that Joker is the personality and the motives of the Joker moving forward. At this point, I feel like I've already kind of run over the same idea, but I've just been reiterating what I'm talking about. By doing more Joker, we are ruining the Joker. And when we finally ruin the big villain, the one who's mysterious and can get away with doing anything, that when the Joker shows up, you're reading a Batman book and you're like, oh crap, it's the Joker again. When that moment no longer happens and you're reading the book and you go, it's the Joker again, which we're kind of getting to, then they've ruined the Joker. That's the problem with the Joker. He's no longer the big threat. He's no longer the surprise villain. He's just another Batman villain. But what do you think? Do you think that we've already ruined the Joker? Do you think we've already gone too far, that we can't redeem him? We can't put him back on a mysterious who is he path? Or do you think that there's still hope, that they could end this great, I want to reiterate, it's a great story, but they could end this story, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, and then just not do another Joker book and we could be okay? Because that's where I think we are. I think we're at a point where if we just wrapped up the current storyline and let the Joker go on hiatus for 2 years and then have him come back as a villain in a Batman story, that'd be cool. If you're gonna do this, DC, here's an alternative. Explore more ideas with the Joker that we don't think about. Have him fight the Flash, the Green Lantern, Superman. See what he would do. See how he would react to these people. Show me that. Don't show me him just in Gotham messing with other people, because you're cementing in a concrete Joker. And if you really want to keep him mysterious, at the end of him messing with every other superhero, wrong Joker. Real Joker's back in Gotham. Boom. Now we don't know what he's doing again. Boom. Yeah, I fixed your problem, DC. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out our manga channel and Dungeons and Ale. And I'm Benny, and I'll have another problem to nitpick next week. I'm thinking Ultimate Universe was actually going to be the one I did this week, but the Joker Night Terror book just ended, and I was like, they got to stop. I'm learning too much about the Joker.